I analyzed 1,000 plus manifestation success stories. The top 1% had this in common. No, it wasn't the technique they used. It wasn't how many affirmations they repeated, how long they visualized, or how disciplined their routine was. The thing that separated the top 1% from everyone else was something far deeper. They all shifted their self-concept. They changed who they believed themselves to be. When I first started studying manifestation, I noticed that most people, including myself back then, were focused on how to manifest faster, how to attract money, how to get the relationship, how to fix something in the 3D. But the real manifestation doesn't happen in the how, it happens in the who. The most powerful people in the world of manifestation don't chase after desires. They start to become the kind of person who naturally has them. That's the real game changer. Think about it for a second. You can visualize, affirm, and script all day long, but if deep down you believe you're not worthy, not capable, not chosen, your mind is planting seeds on hard, dry soil. Nothing stable grows there. But when your self-concept changes, the soil becomes fertile. Every seed you plant, every affirmation you make, starts taking root naturally. The truth is, your self-concept is the master blueprint of your entire reality. It's how you see yourself at the deepest level. It's not just what you say in front of the mirror. It's what you know to be true about yourself when no one is watching. You might say, I am rich, I am abundant. But if there's a silent voice in the back of your mind saying, that's not true, I can't even pay rent, that hidden belief is what's truly shaping your reality. The universe mirrors not what you say, but what you accept as real. And that's what the top 1% of manifestors figured out. They stopped trying to manipulate the 3D world. They went straight to the source. They reprogrammed who they thought they were. So what exactly is self-concept? It's the collection of beliefs, assumptions, and identity statements that run your life unconsciously. It's the program that decides what's possible and what isn't. It's the quiet storyteller in your head saying, I'm good at this, I always fail at that, people like me, or I never have luck. Every single belief like that becomes a command your subconscious obeys without question. When you have a poor self-concept, you might think manifestation isn't working for you. But in reality, it's working perfectly, just according to the version of yourself you currently believe in. You're always manifesting 24/7. The question is whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously. Let's be real, it's easy to feel powerful when things are working and helpless when they're not. I've been there too, trying new methods, jumping from technique to technique, wondering which one is the right one. But the joke is, it was never about the technique. It's always been about the operator. You. Imagine your mind as a projector. The film reel inside it is your self-concept. Whatever is printed on that reel will appear on the screen of your life. If you want the movie to change, there's no point in scratching at the screen, you have to change the film. That's what shifting your self-concept really means. The top 1% understood that everything they experience comes out of who they are being. They stopped saying, I want, and started saying, I am. But not in a fake, forced way. They actually changed the baseline identity behind the words. Let's say someone wants to attract love. A beginner might focus on techniques, scripting, visualizing, making lists of traits. But the top 1% changes the internal identity that says, I'm hard to love, or relationships never last. They shift it to, I'm naturally loved and appreciated. And because that new identity feels normal, life begins reflecting that effortlessly. You see, the key word here is normal. What feels normal to you creates your outer world. If wealth feels normal, you'll find yourself aligning with opportunities that match that. If struggle feels normal, you'll unconsciously recreate struggle again and again. Our mind is always returning to what feels familiar, not what we say we want, but what feels safe and consistent with who we think we are. That's why lasting manifestation is never about chasing desires. It's about expanding your definition of normal. When your self-concept shifts, everything else rearranges automatically. People treat you differently. Situations start bending in your favor. You attract opportunities that before seemed impossible. And perhaps most importantly, things that once triggered you simply don't anymore. It's not because the outer world got nicer, it's because you stopped expecting things to go wrong. There's this beautiful quote that says, "No one to change but self." It's not saying ignore the world. It's saying the world is you, reflected. Everything you experience, every interaction, every limit you think exists, it's all mirroring who you believe you are. So the real power isn't in forcing outcomes. It's in gently, steadily, and certainly assuming a new concept of yourself until it feels natural. Let me put it this way. Self-concept is not about pretending. It's about remembering. Remembering who you truly are before the world layered its doubts and limitations on you. Every child is born with a perfect self-concept. They believe anything is possible. They don't question if they're worthy of being loved, noticed, or celebrated. They just are. Over time, we forget that natural state. Manifestation is simply the process of returning to it. The top 1% live from that place. They don't affirm endlessly out of fear. They assume their identity quietly out of knowing. They carry themselves as if what they want is already true because in their mind, it is. They don't need proof from the 3D to believe their belief creates the 3D. That's why some people get what they want effortlessly, while others struggle. The effortless ones believe it's normal for them. They've accepted the new concept of self completely, while the strugglers keep oscillating between old and new beliefs, never fully claiming one identity. Here's the thing, if you're always trying to get your manifestation, you're subconsciously admitting it's not yours yet. But when you live and think as if it's already done, your mind stops resisting. Reality must follow. The 3D bends to the assumption that feels most real. So, how do you actually shift your self-concept? You don't need to complicate it. Stop overdoing techniques. Instead, decide. Decide who you want to be and start thinking, reacting, and moving as that person now. When your old thoughts come up, what if it doesn't work? Or maybe I'm not meant to have this. Remind yourself that those belong to the old version of you. You're no longer living as that person. The shift isn't dramatic or magical in the way people imagine. It's subtle but permanent. It's the internal moment you stop being the old self. Imagine the difference between someone trying to become confident and someone who already knows they're confident. Their energy, body language, and choices are entirely different. That's what stepping into a new self-concept feels like quiet certainty. Once you begin to live from this new concept, the funny thing is you stop obsessing over whether something is coming or not. You relax. You're no longer a beggar of reality. You're the author of it. And the moment you stop chasing is the moment things start chasing you. Everything that used to feel unnatural, more money, healthier relationships, peace of mind, starts feeling normal. You don't even need to visualize it all the time. It just becomes the background energy of your day. You'll find yourself naturally saying, "Of course this is happening for me," instead of, "I hope this works." And when that happens, you'll know the shift is complete because you no longer want it to happen. You expect it. Desire turns into identity, and identity becomes experience. Think of it like tuning a radio. The signal you tune into is the reality you align with. You don't force the song to play, you just change the frequency. Your self-concept is that frequency. When you tune into the version of yourself that already has what you want, the outer world simply plays along. The most beautiful part of all this is you don't need permission, time, or proof to begin. You can choose right now to shift the story of who you are. Nothing outside has to change first. So if today your life feels stuck, remember, you're not broken. Your manifestation isn't failing, and the universe isn't punishing you. You're just being asked to elevate your self-concept, to stop seeing yourself as someone who tries to manifest, and start being someone who naturally does. Because when you truly know who you are, when you see yourself as the creator, not the chaser, life unfolds like magic. The top 1% discovered that. They didn't need luck. They didn't need effort. They simply shifted into alignment with their highest self-concept and let life mirror that truth. And that's the secret no one talks about. Everything you've ever wanted isn't waiting somewhere out there. It's waiting inside the concept of you that you choose to live from. Choose wisely. You are the cause, not the effect. You are the dreamer, not the dream. And when you finally embody that truth, you'll stop playing the game of beliefs and start mastering it. I hope this helped you. I will meet you with another golden nugget soon. Happy manifesting.